Hypixel Skyblock has changed a lot over the 4 years it's been out, from a simple minigame about floating islands to the biggest MMO in Minecraft. But it didn't come this far just from work done by the admins. As much as the developers have done to push the absolute limits of Minecraft 1.8, Skyblock remains bound by the possibilities of vanilla Minecraft and plugins. And that's where community-made mods come in, with some elevating the quality of gameplay for players and others, elevating the quality a bit too far. Now, I'm not saying you need to have mods to enjoy Skyblock. In fact, a ton of players play with no modifications whatsoever, and that's perfectly fine. But for the majority of the player base who want a few extra quality of life features while playing Skyblock, I decided to compile a list of some of the best mods for Hypixel Skyblock. But before we get into that, it's time for a sponsor segment, because this video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. You've probably heard of Raid before, but if you haven't, Raid is a free-to-play turn-based fantasy RPG with stunning graphics available on both PC and mobile. With more than 700 unique champions and content like dungeons, clan bosses, or a PvP arena, there is truly something for everyone to enjoy. Raid sponsored me earlier this year, and I actually got really into the game and beat the entire campaign. As a kid who spent the first few years of his life growing up in China, I've always been really fascinated with Chinese mythology and the story of the journey to the West, which is why I think it's so cool that Raid has introduced the Monkey King, Sun Wukong, as a legendary champion that you can acquire just by logging into the game for 7 different days from now until October 23rd. If you're looking to try out Raid for the first time, be sure to use my link or the QR code on screen to get some bonus resources to help get you started. Thanks again to Raid for sponsoring this video. This video is going to be split into 2 halves. First half will detail the best overall mods for Skyblock that have all encompassing features for every aspect of the game. The second half will go into mods that excel in their specific category of the game, such as dungeon mods or mining mods. Keep in mind that although the mods in this video are allowed on Skyblock, they are all still used at your own risk. If any of these mods interest you, you can head over to my Discord server where I will provide the links to all of the mods mentioned. If you decide to look for them on your own or research your own mods, please only download them from trusted sources or the proper websites, as fake or sketchy mods can and probably will steal your entire Minecraft account. The first mod featured in this video is what I would consider to probably be the best Skyblock mod, and that's Skytils. Skytils spans all across Skyblock, with features like puzzle solvers in dungeons, client-side armor customization, maps and waypoints for the Crystal Hollows, and much more. Some of my personal favorite Skytils features include being able to bind commands to keys so I can quickly warp to a specific location or swap my armor. Their score calculator for dungeons is very helpful to alert my team when to enter the boss room, and their puzzle solvers significantly speed up the pacing of my runs. One feature I've gotten a lot of questions about is how I'm able to have the rarity color of the item display as a circle behind the item in my hotbar and inventory UIs, which originates from Skytils. This mod is also one of the most up-to-date mods on this list. NotEnoughUpdates is another great mod for Skyblock, especially for players who aren't too familiar with the game. NEU allows you to see the lowest bin or average values for almost every item in the game. Other mods have this feature as well, but in my opinion, NEU does it best. You can also search up any item in Skyblock and instantly open the wiki page or view recipes on how to craft it. Very helpful for newer players. I've been playing Skyblock for almost 3 years now, and I still rely so much on this feature to be able to see recipes. Some of NEU's key features include a custom storage GUI, the most accurate dungeon chest profit display, easy to generate waypoints for fairy souls, or a trade menu that shows the value of each trade to prevent scamming. My favorite NEU feature has got to be slot binding. Slot binding allows you to bind items in your inventory to a certain hotbar slot. Shift-clicking a bound item will instantly replace the item in that slot. When playing a part of the game that requires a full arsenal of utility like dungeons, I rely on slot binding to quickly swap my items around. The inventory buttons feature allows me to make buttons around my inventory and bind commands to them, so I can quickly access my quiver or potion bag with just a click instead of having to click a bunch of different buttons. NEU has so many features that Hellcastle and Tyler have an entire video dedicated to it. It's a bit outdated, but it'll have more info than I can provide in this single video. The only drawback to NEU is that it can cause your game to be laggy if you do not have a good enough computer, so please take this into consideration when you're picking up your mods. SkyblockExtras is the first and only paid mod in this video. SBE costs $5 and, in my opinion, is worth the purchase if you play a lot of Skyblock. My friend Astral, who's an ex-Kudra world record holder and Skyblock level 368, has played his entire Skyblock career without SBE and has never felt the need to buy it. But SBE does offer some premium features. They have custom pet menus, and I use most of their dungeon features such as puzzles or terminal solvers because, in my opinion, they do it best. Their modified visual words is how I'm able to give fun names to my pets in videos or change the IGNs of my friends temporarily. My favorite features from SBE include their Wither Shield timer, which tells me when the Wither Shield ability on my Hyperion is off cooldown. Skytils has this too, but their cooldown display stays on screen while the SBE one disappears when it's not counting down. I also use SBE's Revert Master Stars feature since I absolutely despise the look of the new Master Stars. I do like the look of the pets display on SBE because it shows your active pet in a cool little icon that you can put anywhere on your screen. It even shows XP shared pets circling around it. SBE is overall an incredibly versatile mod with loads of features and is updated very frequently, but the price tag and the fact that Skytils has most of its features does make it a little less appealing. Soupy is by far the best mod for Mayor Diana's mythological event, and it's the main reason I initially downloaded it. Since then, I've taken a liking to a lot of Soupy's exclusive features, particularly waypoints. Soupy can generate waypoints from the patcher mod's /patcher send chords command. It can also display your FPS and the ticks per second of the server you're on, so you never have to ask if it's you or if it's the server that's lagging. Soupy offers helpers for the dojo in the Crimson Isles and the best solver for the metal detector in the Mines of Devon. I've been doing nucleus runs for Skyblock XP recently, and Soupy has made collecting the tools so much easier. Now we're going to get into a few specific mods that are really handy for dungeons. The first is BetterMap, a chat triggers module that offers the best dungeon map in the game. You can customize the map in so many different ways, and it can show you which puzzle a room is or how many secrets have been found in that room. A feature of BetterMap I've been using a lot recently is their secret highlighter. Not only does this help me with the new rooms that were recently added, but you can also see which secrets have already been found in a room. You can also have the score calculation displayed right under the map if that's what you prefer. If you play any dungeons at all, I'd highly recommend picking up BetterMap. If you're new to dungeons and are having trouble finding the hundreds of different secret locations in the game, DungeonRooms renders waypoints for secrets to give you a helping hand. It can also tell you the name of the room you're currently in to make it easier to communicate to your teammates. I'd recommend turning this mod off once you know most of the secrets in the game so you don't end up relying on it too much. Bloom is a chat trigger module made by Unclaimed Bloom 6, who was once a top dungeon player. It's a great mod, especially if you play a lot of Party Finder. Everyone knows the players in Party Finder possess questionable intellect. Bloom has features you can configure to automatically filter out players and kick them if they don't have a minimum secret count or catacombs level. Have you ever kicked a player from the dungeon party and they just keep trying to join back for no reason? Bloom's got you covered, because you can now kick players who you have kicked recently automatically. My favorite features from Bloom include their dungeon RNG meter display, which you can set to only show up at the end of a dungeon run if you want. I also like Bloom's terminal splits, which show you how many terminals you and each party member completed, as well as how long each phase of terminals took. Finally, Bloom's player logging feature is incredibly interesting as it shows you your average run times and takes into consideration the players in your party and their performance during the runs, so you can finally figure out which per member is really holding you back. By far the best mod for Crimson Isles and especially Kudra is Volcaddons, made by my friend Volk, who is an ex-Kudra world record holder. Volcaddons shows waypoints for supplies, waypoints for unbuilt supply piles, and also alerts you to run events such as dropships arriving. While making this video, I talked to a lot of my friends, most who are top players, and we all reached a mutual agreement that we would not be able to run Kudra the same way without Volcaddons. Volk also has Crimson Isles features such as a Vanquisher tracker and an auto warp system that automatically parties your friends and sends coordinates when you spawn a Vanquisher, which is great if you grind Nether Stars with friends. Volk also provides Enigma Soul waypoints for the Rift and features that help with Vampire Slayer, as well as Diana Burrow waypoints that rival those from Soupy. My favorite features from Volk include all of the Kudra waypoints and party chat commands. Sometimes I'll be the party leader and my party will need a warp, but I'm in the middle of a Slayer boss or fighting for my life against a Shadow Assassin. Volk allows my party member to type in !warp, which will automatically make me run the warp command, or !transfer, which makes me transfer the party to them. Now, I'm no miner. No, seriously, I hate mining, but I'm aware that mining is a big part of Skyblock, which is why the best mining mod, ColeWeight, had to earn a spot in this video. This mod was especially useful back when armadillo mining was at peak relevancy, but it still has neat features such as letting you know when you enter a lobby you've already been in, or trackers for powder mining and money per hour gained from mining. I don't know too much about this mod, since I don't really do much mining, but I'll link a video from Implodent who goes more in depth about ColeWeight. There are two honorable mentions, Dolclear and Skyhanny. I've never actually used any of these mods, so I didn't feel like I could accurately comment on how good they are, but a lot of my friends use them and agree that they are good, so I thought it'd be good to mention. Dolclear is that one funny mod that allows you to make your items small, and Skyhanny has loads of useful garden features.